Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Money Codes. My name is Joel and I'm here to give you today's Money Code fix. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to dispute your student loans. So last week I did a video about how to dispute charged off derogatory items that are reporting onto your account. I went in depth. I let you know exactly how to do that. And one of the most common questions that came out of that video was, what about student loans? How do we approach student loans? Well, the short answer is yes, you are able to dispute student loans and get them removed off of your credit reports. But as I do with most of the topics, we're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. So hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have more information to make a better, sound decision. Alright, so now let's quickly jump into this. So 2 quick disclaimers before we go into the technical aspects. Number one, I always encourage you to skim through the FCRA guidelines. I have a video somewhere posted on my YouTube channel where I actually go in and I review quite a bit of the FCRA guidelines. When it comes to disputing anything off of your credit reports, there really is like no magic bullet. There is no mysticism or magic when you're taking things off of your credit report. What you and I are doing as consumers, or what credit repair agencies are doing if you choose to use them, what everyone is basically doing is they have the rules in front of us that is provided to us by the FCRA. Specifically, section 609 of the FCRA is what allows us to be able to go to the credit bureaus, and it empowers us to get access to our consumer disclosures. So I made another video about annualcreditreport.com. That is a free way to get access to your full credit reports. I mean, every detail, every item that is on your credit profile. I did a video on how to get access to that so you can do your own investigations and your own inspections on what is reporting to your credit reports. And then we have section 611, which states that you and I as consumers, we have the right to go back to the credit bureaus and put pressure on them, so to speak, so that anything that is reporting incorrectly, anything that is reporting on our credit reports that is not 100% accurate, we have the right as consumers to dispute that and to get the credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, we have the right to pressure them to get it removed off of our credit reports, and student loans is no exception. The second disclaimer, before you start trying to dispute anything, including your student loans, understand that there is a domino effect when it comes to your credit report, meaning every account that you have on your credit report right now, including your student loans, they have an age to it, they have a payment history to it. This is an installment loan, so there's a credit mix to it. So if you have an account and you're removing it off of your credit report, you're also removing age, you're also removing payment history, you're also removing credit mix. These are all the ingredients, when you put it all together, these are all the ingredients that make up your credit score. So just keep in mind, when you start taking things off of your credit report and you're not 100% sure what it is that you're doing, you may actually see a score decrease if there aren't any other items on your credit report that is able to offset the things that you're pulling off. But trust me, there is a domino effect. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing to your credit report before you start trying to dispute every and anything that you think is bad. All right, so the disclaimer outside of the way, what is the strategy? So as I mentioned before, you can go to annualcreditreport.com. I want you to get access to your credit reports. You can also click the link that is in the description of this video where you're able to get a tri-merge account. That way, if you have a student loan, or if you have a collection, or if you have any derogatory account, you'll be able to see how Experian is reporting it, you'll be able to see how TransUnion is reporting it, and then you'll be able to see how Equifax is reporting it. And then line by line, you want to pay attention to anything that looks like a discrepancy. So you want to pay attention to the dates open, data last activity, high balance, remarks. You want to look at literally every line that is associated with your derogatory account. In this example, we're talking about student loans. I'll cite an article up here that shows that for most of us have something wrong with our credit reports. And whatever that something is, it may be the balance is $5 off. It may be that one of your dates is not reporting at all, or maybe it's 1 month off. Whatever it may be, it does not matter. If it's not 100% correct, we can take that information, put that in a dispute letter. And if you don't have access to a dispute letter, you can find some online. You can go to creditcodes.com, put in your email address. I actually email you a PDF of mine that has a sample of a dispute letter that you can use and model after, as well as some other good resources in there. I'll link that below. But you want to go ahead and you want to have all 3 of your credit reports in front of you. Highlight anything that is not correct. You want to screenshot that if you can. I want you to highlight it, I want you to circle it, and you're going to send out to all 3 of the major credit bureaus. 1 letter goes to Experian, 1 letter goes to TransUnion, 1 letter goes to Equifax. It's going to be the same information. You're going to send that out USPS certified mail, so you're able to keep track of when they received it. And inside the body of that dispute letter, you want to have a clear call to action. If you're trying to get a deletion, put in there in black and white, this is the inaccuracy that is reporting on my credit reports. I want you to delete. That is a right that you have under 611 of the FCRA. But as I said in the beginning of this video, if you're somehow able to keep trade lines on your credit report, let's say you are defaulted, or let's say there are some late payments in there, instead of trying to delete an entire account off of your credit report, try to find creative ways to see if you can somehow salvage that primary trade line, because remember, 35%, that payment history, that age, so much of what could be potentially boosting up your credit score, you don't want to remove and it hurts you. So again, you have the right to delete, but also try goodwill letters. Also try to rehabilitate the loan. So I know under the COVID-19 relief bill, there are some things that you can do to try to be able to rehabilitate that loan. If you can do 9 consecutive payments, they'll be able to change the status of that account from default to being in good standing. And lastly, also keep in mind that because you're removing things off of your credit report, does not mean that you are discharging or you're removing your responsibility to pay back that loan. The same way goes with your charge-off applies to your student loans. Just because you take something off of your report doesn't mean that the responsibility that you have with that creditor, with that original lender, is now null and void. All that means is just it's off your report. So just keep that in the back of your head when it comes time to try to dispute, or when it's time to try to purchase a home. Most first-time home buyers tend to go FHA, which is the Fair Housing Administration, 3.5% down. I did a video on that about how to buy a home. That's the most common type of loan, is the FHA loan. So if you have unresolved loans and you're going back to the government to get other type of loans, understand that you're going to have to do more than just disputing with the credit bureaus to get past the responsibilities of the debt that you owe. Hopefully that makes sense. So that is pretty much it. You have the resources to go ahead and do this. Go get access to your credit reports, print them out, highlight everything that looks wrong, that is possibly wrong. Also keep in mind too that if you are in deferred status and they are reporting late payments, that's another discrepancy, that's another violation that you can use. Be very creative, but to answer the question, you do have the right to dispute anything on your credit report that is not being reported 100% accurately. So be creative, take your time, dig down into your credit reports and figure out what is not reporting correctly. And above that, I want you to figure out what your goal is, whether you're trying to buy a home, whether you're trying to get higher credit limits, whether you're trying to get business funding. Try to figure out what your end goal is and then reverse engineer the steps of what you need to do first, second, and third when it comes to your credit journey. That way you're making the right decisions along the way. If you need help with that, you can check me out at moneycodez.com or email me at info@moneycodez. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.